Right now, a local National Guardsman says he has won his appeal and will soon return to regular duty. We have an update on his case.
And thousands of dollars in damage. A lights display at an area park is targeted by vandals for the third time in recent years.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The Wisconsin National Guardsman, who says he was medically discharged for bringing forward decades of sexual misconduct allegations in his unit, learned today he can continue serving his country.
Our Amy Reed sat down with him today and joins us now with what he hopes happens next. Amy?
Master Sergeant Jay Ellis was very excited to get this call today, and it came as a bit of a surprise. This comes the same day Governor Tony Evers announced he has the results from the investigation into how the Wisconsin Guard handles these claims. And as we continue to learn what's uncovered in this investigation, that's where Ellis isn't surprised.
I had people contact me from Oregon, from Florida.
Since Master Sergeant Jay Ellis told legislators what he saw in his time at the Guard, the notes from all around the country came in.
For it to become this big thing and all these other people coming out of the wood, I did not expect that. But what it shows you is just how bad it actually is.
Last year, he detailed 2 decades worth of sexual misconduct he'd heard about in units stationed at Truax Field. As this got attention, so did he. Enough that this year, he was told he'd be medically discharged. He didn't think it was right, so he fought it, but his lawyer wasn't sure he had a chance.
The percentage of return to duty is 3%. He said 97 out of 100 people who go through this process wanting to be returned to duty do not get returned to duty.
Today, he learned he was one of those 3%. Of course, he's excited to continue serving, but still.
I don't want it to be focused on me. It's not about me. It's about that. It's about those people, those women that had those issues, and it's about all the people that have now contacted me from across the country, across different branches of the military, who are saying, this happened to me too.
Today, he hopes this will remind people. The governor sending a letter to top state legislators, letting them know an investigation into the Wisconsin National Guard's handling of cases such as these is done. After the governor heard the report, based off of 78 interviews and a review of more than 1,100 documents, he plans to brief the top leader in the Guard Saturday. Ellis hopes this time change happens.
Now's the time to do the right thing, right? Now's the time. Here it is. Here's your opportunity to do the right thing and right the ship.
According to one of those interviews obtained by the Cap Times, a federal investigator called the handling of one case an absolute train wreck. We should learn more next week about how that fits into the whole picture, but this is just one investigation down. There's still another investigation into the claims Ellis made last year and an investigation into how the Guard handled him coming forward.
The story will continue to follow. Amy Reed reporting. Amy, thank you.
3 Minnesota National Guard soldiers were killed today when their Black Hawk helicopter crashed. Their identities have not been released. The Guard says they lost contact with the helicopter shortly after it took off on a maintenance test flight from St. Cloud. It crashed about 20 miles southwest of the city. The helicopter called Mayday about 9 minutes after takeoff. An update to last night's breaking news. The shooter in yesterday's deadly attack at the Pearl Harbor Naval Base has been identified as 22-year-old Gabriel Romero. The Navy says the U.S. sailor shot 3 Defense Department employees, killing 2 of them before taking his own life. The motive is unclear.
Right now, the lift bridge at Duluth's harbor is covered by heavy ice and stuck in the down position. The aerial lift bridge has been stuck since Monday, despite efforts by city workers to de-ice it. They tried to test lift, but the bridge motors couldn't handle the extra weights, causing a problem for shipping companies who are being forced to take the long way in and out of the harbor, going through Superior's entry point instead. Enjoying the warmer December weather around here a bit longer. Your first alert forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalta. Gary?
Well, our temperatures will take a little step back tomorrow. We should be back into the 40s for Saturday and Sunday before much colder air arrives next week. Time lapse from the Quibi Radio Skycam in Platteville shows that they had sunshine for much of the day today. The clouds started to thicken up a little bit this afternoon, but even there, you can see some breaks in the overcast. And while skies are mostly cloudy, it's a thin overcast at this point. Temperatures today were pretty mild. In fact, in southwestern Wisconsin, temperatures were in the upper 40s, including 47 at Prairie du Chien and Boscobel. Hit 45 at Janesville and 41 in Madison. To the northeast, temperatures were in the upper 30s. Right now, we're seeing temperatures in the lower 30s, right around freezing here in Madison. A few places to our north and northeast are generally just below freezing. By tomorrow morning, we'll look for our low temperatures to be in the upper 20s. The skies clear out. Tomorrow will be a sunny but colder day with a high temperature of 35. Later on, I'll take a look at our chances for snow and how cold we'll get for next week.
Gary, thanks. What started as an armed robbery at a jewelry store and carjacking in South Florida today ended in a shootout on a busy highway, leaving 4 dead. Video shows several police cars set off in a high-speed chase after a suspect carjacked a UPS truck. The driver is forced to slow down when they were boxed in by traffic. Gunshots were exchanged. Police said on a news conference that the 2 suspects died, as well as the abducted UPS driver and a bystander.
Johnson Creek Elementary School will be closed tomorrow due to about 30% of the student body calling in sick today, many of them with a norovirus infection. School Superintendent Michael Garvey says while the elementary school will be closed, the middle school and alternative schools will be open. UW-Madison graduate students took to Engineering Mall today to protest the upcoming return of a controversial professor. They say Professor Akbar Saeed's hostile and intimidating behavior led to a student's death by suicide 3 years ago. A UW investigation found Saeed violated the UW's policy and was suspended for 2 years. But now he's due to return in the upcoming spring semester in an administrative capacity.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave the go-ahead for the House Judiciary Committee to begin drafting articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. In her announcement, Speaker Pelosi said the facts are uncontested that the president withheld military aid to Ukraine for his own personal gain against his political rival. The Judiciary Committee could begin drafting articles of impeachment as soon as next week. Constitutional law expert Jonathan Turley says he's gotten a barrage of threats after his testimony yesterday against impeaching President Trump. He says his home and office have been, quote, inundated with threats and demands that he be fired. Turley is a law professor with nearly 30 years of teaching experience under his belt at George Washington University. Tonight, the Beaver Dam Rotary Club is repairing a Christmas lights display in Swan Park after it was vandalized by people in a golf cart.
Gabriel shares more on the damage done and what repairs are needed.
This is the 3rd year that the Beaver Dam Rotary Club has put on this lights display in Swan Park. But it's also the 3rd year that it's been vandalized somehow. And this year, the sheriff says it's up to thousands of dollars in damage.
Here we go.
Busted or?
Yep.
I looked out and oh my gosh.
Early this morning, multiple suspects stole a golf cart from the local school and slayed through the lighted display.
No, still nothing.
Destroying multiple arches and arrangements that took all of November to set up.
The metal trees and things like that were smashed down and just driven over and crushed, so they're beyond repair.
I don't know that these displays are going to be usable again in another year because of the damage. It may only be a temporary fix. We're going to have to replace those things.
But these volunteers aren't going to let some Grinches steal Christmas this year.
Yes.
There's a lot of time that has gone into this, a lot of hard work, a lot of design that has gone into it. And beyond that, there's a lot of money and donations that have come in from the community to make it possible.
They're rebuilding what they can so that the light display can go on for the rest of the holiday season.
Every year it gets a little better, and we're trying to make it nice, and then you get people that just don't appreciate things, I guess.
The sheriff says this damage isn't going to deter them from making the event even bigger next year. In Beaver Dam, Gabriela Becerra, News 3 Now.
They're also looking for donations to install cameras with Wi-Fi in Swan Park that could bring 24-hour surveillance year-round.
We have breaking news right now just into our Channel 3000 Alert Center. This is a live look at Main Street in Sun Prairie. Our crew on the scene says officers are searching a vehicle there. This is in response to a call that first came in around 9 tonight of a report of someone in a car firing at another vehicle on northbound Highway 151 near Nelson Road. Be sure to stay with News 3 Now and channel3000.com for any further updates. Next at 10, we are less than 48 hours away now for the Big Ten football championship game. The Badgers taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. The title game has only been around for 9 years, and this is the 6th time that Wisconsin has gone. The UW says ticket sales have been steady, so far selling about 8,000 of them. There are some left. The university says the best way to get your tickets, go to uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. And News 3 Now will have complete coverage of the game. Sports director Jay Wilson, along with Kevin Lewis, they'll be live from Lucas Oil Stadium starting tomorrow. And still ahead tonight, how long we can expect this above-average calm weather to stick around.
But first, how researchers are hoping to use the active ingredients in magic mushrooms to heal chronic depression. Stay with us.
For reliable weather day in and day out, watch First Alert Weather.
More than 300 million people suffer from depression worldwide. It is considered one of the most emotionally painful experiences anyone can go through.
But the FDA recently approved a study to test what could be a breakthrough drug to treat it right here in Madison. Only News 3 Now's Jamie Perez takes us on this journey.
So this is the first step.
For researchers at the USONA Institute, this is just another day in the lab.
So I'm reacting that acyl chloride, dimethylamine.
But they're making a substance that could change the medical field.
We're kind of building the psilocybin molecule from the ground up.
Psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms. You may be wondering, how can this lab-made yellow substance help heal depression?
It's one of the most fascinating questions in the human world right now.
Charles Rayson with the USONA Institute is on a journey to find out.
I think right now the evidence suggests that a single treatment or 2 treatments of psilocybin in many people will have a benefit that will last at least several months and maybe longer.
Just ask Diane Byler.
I was 50 before I did any of this.
She's a former subject in a previous psilocybin study done at UW-Madison and formerly a skeptic of mind-altering drugs.
My brother and And I saw other people experiment with some of that stuff, and that just wasn't for me.
Byler signed up to be a part of a psilocybin study for healthy adults in 2015 after dealing with some mental struggles.
My mom had passed away earlier that year, and I was actually in the process of a divorce, too, at the time.
In an attempt to heal herself from within.
There was an 8-hour music playlist that they played each time, so it was the same music each time, and I put on headphones and eye shades and just went in.
Byler went on a journey that she said changed her life forever.
Ultimately boiled down to interconnectedness and love and oneness and wholeness.
As she lay here for 8 hours on her journey, she wondered the same thing that researchers are seeking answers to today.
What about that could possibly be so powerful that people feel changed a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later? And the short answer is we don't know for sure, but the data to date suggests that it is the quality of the experience that's induced acutely in that 6-hour psychedelic window that really predicts how people do long term.
Would you say that this could help people who are depressed?
Absolutely. To actually feel it and process it, they say the way out is through. So instead of just stuffing it down, to actually have a safe place to process whatever it is they need to process.
For Rayson, this isn't about doing drugs in your backyard. It's about real, powerful medical experiences to heal one of the most emotionally crippling diseases so many of us face.
The difficult experiences are often difficult in a way that helps people begin to face the experiences, resolve the experiences, get a different perspective on the experiences.
Rayson said the drive to get treatment from depression is profound, and his team of researchers
That yellow color is going to start to disappear.
are testing something that could eventually treat other mental health conditions.
There are studies now suggesting it may help people quit smoking. There are studies suggesting that it may help people get some relief from alcohol dependence. There are studies suggesting it may be helpful for people that have obsessive compulsive disorder, which is a very difficult condition to treat psychiatrically.
Until the FDA approves psilocybin as a legitimate treatment, Rayson is hopeful that this actually works.
If the data hold true, this is a revolution in mental health.
In Madison, I'm Jamie Perez, News 3 Now.
Right now, they are in the screening process to find 80 people to participate in this study. Several other studies still need to be done before this can hit the market.
For more information on this or to find out if you qualify to participate, we have a link with more information at channel3000.com.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now with a look at our forecast.
Well, things pretty quiet out there. It'll be a little colder for tomorrow, but we'll turn a little milder again for the weekend. And then next week, not quite as nice. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Tomorrow, a little colder. High temperatures topping out in the middle 30s compared to the low 40s like we've seen the last couple of days. But we should be back around 40 on Saturday and in the mid 40s on Sunday before Monday we start to make the transition. We'll see some light snow. It'll be windy and turn colder. And by Tuesday and Wednesday, high temperatures will be in the upper teens to around 20 degrees. So you can see just how cold it'll be, and that will continue into Thursday as well. There are some signs there could be some light snow toward the end of next week, but enjoy the weekend because I don't see anything close to that afterwards. In fact, the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center from December 13th through the 19th shows the highest chances of below normal temperatures right through Wisconsin down basically along the Mississippi River into Arkansas and Mississippi. Warmer than normal weather is expected out to the west and across the far southeastern part of the country. Precipitation expected to be near normal across Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. Higher than normal to the east and also to the west, and maybe drier than normal across California. The time lapse from the WISC sky cam shows sunshine that we had this morning giving way to a gradual increase in clouds, but those clouds are not very thick, and they just allowed some of the sunshine to come through, enough to get us a mild day. In fact, as we check out the almanac today after a live look at the Edgewater sky cam, high temperature made it up to 41 degrees, low temperature 22, and right now we're still at 33 with mostly or partly cloudy skies, the air calm, and the wind chill right now 33, not much of a breeze out there. High temperatures today stayed around freezing or a little bit below in the northern part of the state. We're in the 40s over southwestern Wisconsin, and to our south and west, many locations in Iowa and Illinois hit the 50s. Now, as we look at current temperatures, they're right around freezing here. To the north, a little bit colder, but for the most part, we're not seeing any bitterly cold air yet because the upper level winds are still from the west-northwest. That's keeping the colder Canadian air locked up farther to the north into northeastern Canada. There's also a surge of cold air starting to build in Alaska. And this storm system along the west coast, as it moves eastward, will initially warm us up for the weekend, but behind it, the winds will shift around to the north beginning on Monday, and that's when the colder air will really start to take hold. Weak cold front moving through tonight, really not affecting temperatures very much. You can see in front and behind the front, not much of a difference. So we'll look for high temperatures tomorrow to be in the middle 30s, and as the skies clear out, we'll be back to sunny skies for tomorrow. But again, the northwesterly winds will keep our temperatures just a little bit colder. So overnight, look for skies to gradually become partly cloudy, low temperature dropping to 27, and tomorrow should be a mostly sunny and a little colder day, high temperature at 35. On future track, those temperatures dropping into the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning, high temperatures tomorrow topping out in the middle 30s. Tomorrow night, look for partly cloudy skies, lows in the lower 20s, and then as we head into Saturday, high temperatures again around 40 degrees as those winds become southerly. And Sunday, I'm still thinking a high in the mid-40s, and the rain chances I pushed back to late in the day, maybe a late day shower, better chances of rain Sunday night, and then that will mix with some flurries by Monday morning. And then Monday's the transition day, that high of 36 earlier with falling temperatures. And by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, high temperatures right around 20 and nighttime low temperatures in the single digits, and wind chills will be below zero there. So
that's quite the fall.
Now that is, yeah, a little bit different from what we've seen recently.
Enjoy it while we can.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Badger volleyball team hopes to take it one match at a time in the NCAA tournament. There's a story coming up in sports.
Women's basketball has a Big Ten ACC challenge just like the men. Tonight, Wisconsin plays at Georgia Tech in the challenge, and the Yellow Jackets beat the Badgers 60-41. Wisconsin will travel to Fargo to play at North Dakota State on Sunday. The road to the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship begins tomorrow night at the UW Fieldhouse. The Badgers are hosting the first 2 rounds this weekend. If they win both matches, they'll host the next weekend, too. By winning the Big Ten Championship, the Badgers are in the 4th seed in the tournament and thus the home court advantage the first 2 weekends if they keep winning. It's all there for Wisconsin. They just want to stay in the moment.
Really, if you're going to make it far, you can only think about the opponent you have in front of you, and you can't think about, oh, what's next week going to look like, because if you're thinking that, you're not going to make it that far.
We can't look at that next weekend until we finish this weekend, so we really just have to look at it one game at a time. And yeah, it is really exciting for us, but we really have to stay disciplined and make sure we're taking every single moment as its own self and just living in the moment and taking every game one game at a time.
There are 2 first-round matches at the Fieldhouse tomorrow. Notre Dame and UCLA play the first one at 4:30. Then Wisconsin and Illinois State play at 7. The winners face in the second round Saturday night, 6 o'clock at the UW Fieldhouse. Of course, the Big Ten Football Championship is Saturday in Indianapolis. 5 weeks ago, Ohio State slowed down Jonathan Taylor on the way to a 38-7 Buckeyes win in Columbus. This time, it's indoors on a neutral field and a chance for the Badgers to even the score.
Some takeaways from that game, one was turnovers. We can't turn the ball over. For like me personally, can't turn the ball over like that in this game. And then just making plays and winning matchups, I'd say.
It's a championship game, It means more. It's bigger than what it was before. I'm not saying you took it lightly before, but it means more to everybody. Them too. So it's gonna be a better game.
Well, this is my last night in the studio. I'll be covering that Big Ten championship game. I'm stepping away from local TV sports Sunday. 39 years ago tomorrow, Professor Jim Hoyt and Marsh Shapiro got together at the Nitty Gritty to talk about hiring me at Channel 27. Well, Marsh did that, and that's how it all started. There are so many people I'd like to thank. First of all, thanks to Morgan Murphy Media for giving me this opportunity 11 years ago, and to all the people in our sports department that worked so hard to make me look good. Thanks to everyone at the UW Athletic Department, Barry Alvarez, Paul Christ, Brett Bielema, Bo Ryan, Greg Gard, Jeff Sauer, Tony Granato, to name a few. They've all been great to work with. And thanks to all the high school athletic directors, coaches, players, and parents that have been so appreciative and supportive. I'm really lucky. I've been doing this for 39 years. I'm in good health, and I'm leaving on my own terms. And I've got a great family. I missed a lot of our 3 children's events growing up because I worked nights and weekends, but they never held it against me. And my wife, Jill, she's the best. She supported me every step of the way and never complained once. She's the real reason I could do this for 39 years. This is a resignation, not a retirement. And it's all good. I'll still be around town and look forward to seeing you all in person, perhaps. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.
My wife's bawling her eyes.
She is watching. She is watching. Thank you for choosing to spend part of your career here. It's been, it's been an honor. It truly has been an honor
you're very kind.
to be able to work with you. And on behalf of the station, really thank you for bringing your professionalism. You are a person of integrity and respect. And as I always say, we need more people like that in this world. Now, before you go,
yes.
I have a little something for you.
Sweet.
For you and for Jill.
I asked for cash and gift cards. And
oh, this is better.
Oh, good.
2 pints of Kit Kat Swirl.
Kit Kat Swirl,
your
my
favorite. Now, I have to admit, I had 3, but I'm an emotional eater, and I got sad that you were leaving.
I understand.
So I hoovered that 3rd one today.
Well, thank you.
I helped.
You did help.
Hey, best of luck. They're telling us to wrap.
One for Jill, one for me.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Enjoy the tournament, the championship this weekend as well.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Gary says, nice tomorrow. Bears win. Good night.